Hey everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to Bozmos2, where we are playing Chaco. It is turn 56. Let's jump into things. Alright, so relatively peaceful turn. I'm gonna go and roll through the stuff and then talk about what's going on. We have completed construction 6. Good. That's very good for us. Very important for us. Very late for us. Probably should have been there like 10, 15 turns ago. But it's better late than never. On our way now to Enchantment 7. We'll talk about why shortly. Voice of Apsu, nothing. Dark Knowledge, nothing. No More, nothing. Augury, nothing. Another Augury has found a Wildfire Glade in Packwoods, our new province. That's a +1 fire gem. Sweet. Auspex found nothing. Harspex, nothing. Harspex, nothing. Apsu, nothing. Another Apsu found a Weeping Stone in Bergamum. Again, another +1 site. Cool. Harspex found nothing. And then Wuya 11 searching in Packwoods found a Quicksand. And I believe that is also a +1 Earth gem. So, cool. Again, another prophet from Relay. And we get to witness a battle between Lemuria and Basia in Palme. See how this goes? Right, so a little Lemurian army attacking basically nothing. So, no big deal. We have a couple of events. Death increases as the Plague Cult gains followers in Assad. Do some population there. Local lords are feuding in Amiradon. So we lose taxes and gain unrest. A lot of unrest. Oof. And then we gain a temple, free temple in Domen, but we lose tax for it, so that is unfortunate. Let's go to Domen. Okay, it's up here. So we lose 90 income there, but we gain a free temple, so I guess cool. We're getting into that Dom push scenario. Where's Amiradon? Right here. Okay, kind of whatever. A lot of unrest, but pretty swiftly reduced, so that's good. Okay. And then we have patrolling in all of these different locations, thanks to our Kosharis, who do a very good job of that. What is going on this turn? All right, so we have some big moves this turn. We're going to talk about a bunch of different things. I think first, though, we want to actually talk about where we're at in this game. It's turn 56, starting to move from that kind of mid-game into the early-late game scenario. And this is where I think we're going to start falling off, right? Where I think our lack of research is going to be outshone, and we're going to start... If anyone heavy hits us in the near future, we going to crumple real bad. So, obviously, we're going to try to mitigate that as much as we can, but it's going to take a little bit. So, let's take a look at who is left. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 6, 27, 28, 29 people down out of the original 77. 48 people, less than 50 people left. Okay. So, not quite the halfway mark, in fairness, but getting pretty close. That being said, I think the majority of people, there are a couple, right? But the majority of people that are established right now are pretty established. We'll have another 10 or so, I think, dropped in the next 10 to 15 turns. But then I think there's going to be pretty major Cold War power struggles from a lot of people throughout the game. If the scenario surrounding Bozmos2 is any indication, if you make it to the late game, it turns into a quagmire nightmare. So, oof. Big oof. We're already in a quagmire nightmare in a different game. I don't know that I want to be involved in another one, but we'll see how it goes. So there's that. We are embroiled in this kind of semi-Cold War with Kingobia. that is about to change. Now that we have hit Construction 6, right, a very big portion of what I was wanting to do was trying to get up to Construction 6 so that as we start moving and utilizing mages, the loss doesn't hurt us as much because we are able to produce things like lightless lanterns and up our research speed that way. So, we're going to work on that. That's a very major focus. Next major focus is going to be Enchantment 7 for some very specific reasons. The main one being Serpent's Blessing. Being able to cast Serpent's Blessing every battle and making sure we can cast things like Foul Vapors every battle will mean that everyone has to pay the Foul Vapors tax, basically. Which is not a hard tax to pay this late in the game, but it gives us a modicum of defense against certain people, right? Or at least it makes it a consideration to think about. It also gives us access to a couple of other things. Solar Brilliance can be very useful against the undead, so this is kind of a protective weapon. Mass Flight is something that we can utilize in the right scenarios. Gift of Health is a route we could go in the long run, especially if we have, you know, the Throne of the Pantocrator, where we're dom pushing a whole bunch, right? That's something to keep in mind. And it does poise us for some pretty big things later on that are really good buffs, right? Like Mass Regeneration will be close to Thunderfin, Mist of Deception, Frostfin, Firefin, all very important. And we're also a nation that can very easily cast Gaia's Blessing once we get to that, right? So if we want to go that route, we can very easily do that. Knock basically the Serpent's Blessing and all the Fins out in one quick cast, that type of thing. We're also capable of doing stuff like Demon Cleansing on our Jade Sorceresses. Basically put a water bracelet on a Jade Sorceress and they can cast a Demon Cleansing. So that's useful for us in certain matchups. I don't know what Celerity is. I do know this is not an option in the normal game. This must be a DE game. The quickness 100%, act twice every turn. So that's amazing, obviously. So getting that in combats would be pretty good. Oh, you know what I don't have that I actually need? I need relief worked into one of our armies, don't I? Yeah, I do. Alright, I'll have to look at that. So yeah, we've got a bunch of important things that either Enchantment 7 will get us or get us close to if we need to make the jump. After Enchantment 7, we're going to rush, and this hurts because I have a bunch of different things that I want. I really want to go up Conjuration because Yaya Ponza Dance, these guys are amazing thugs / super combatants, right? I really would like to start using them. These Achilatopas, or whatever, are really, they're heir to Astral 2, Herb commanders that are, I think, sacred. No, I don't think they're sacred. But they're really good for the price point, quite awesome. Getting the primordials are pretty good. We want to get up to Conjuration 7 so we can contact Coyote. Coyotes can summon, or not coyotes, there is a single coyote can summon the Yayaponzas, and once we have one Yayaponza, we can have as many Yayaponzas as we want, right? Those are all like good things. And then later on in Conjuration, we have some pretty powerful options, especially considering the amount of you know, like astral we get. Like we could spam Guardian Spirits. These are Air 3, Astral 3, Sacred, massive, I think size 6 chassis, right? Pretty powerful. But as much as I want to go down Conjuration, I think alteration is going to be more important for us in the very, very near future. Primarily because of battlefield buffs, right? We think of things like mass protection. We think of things like eventually... So we're going to definitely go to 7. 7 will get us access to things like Fog Warriors, mass protection, Marble Warriors if we want to use that instead, dooming enemies, and then we can all... What's Gaia's warding? Wow, so it's just mass protection plus plus mass regeneration. DE has some kick-ass fucking spells in here. That's busted. So that's interesting. So going for alteration gets us a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B, but we're already gonna have mass regeneration, so it doesn't matter. Actually, no, we're not, because mass regeneration's enchantment 8, right? Yeah. Okay, so that's free mass regeneration for us. That's cool. Well, that's very interesting. Not really where we were going to go with that, but definitely something that we can do. So we got that as an option. But that's also going to poise us to go to things like Will of the Fates, which we can cast pretty easily. To eventually Army of Golden Lead, which are going to be very important for us as well. So kind of a big deal to get into alteration. I would rather already be at alt 7. If we had gone for construction 6 earlier, like I had planned to, we could already have a very strong amount of lightless lanterns and probably be up to about 1,500 to 2k, depending on whether or not we're moving armies or not. And that would really boost our research speed to get up to where we're trying to accomplish things like this. But as it is, it's going to be a little tough. It's going to take 3 turns at least to get up to enchantment 7. And then it is going to take not that many turns to get through alteration 5 and 6, but it'll take a bit to get through alteration 7 as well. I think probably the next 10 turns or so is going to be this stuff. So. What are we doing movement-wise? We are moving our Wuya 11 away from Packwoods to Jereb. We've got a fort going up there. We've got a temple going up there this turn. We're gonna get that place defended. But in the meantime, Wuya 11 is gonna start heading to the front line. Speaking of to the front line, we are moving Wuya 17, brand new Wuya. We're getting more Wuyas, more Katsinas. We have more Katsinas with Wuya 16 here in High Peaks. Those are going up to Pastena. We are sending a Silver Order Mage down. Silver 1 is going on down to Chaco. To basically be our silver safe guy. We're gonna start moving up the production of Astral, climbing Astral. We're going to have him we're gonna have him do a... What's the hat called? I always forget. Lag. This game is getting super difficult. Starshine Skullcap. We're gonna have him produce a Starshine Skullcap. We're gonna get some boots, some earth boots created, so these sorceresses can make a crystal coin. We're probably going to boost him. Then he will be a Astral 6 with those things. He'll be able to produce a Ring of Sorcery, Astral 7, be able to produce Rings of Wizardry, etc. We've got a decent Astral Pearl income. Not really utilizing it in anything, so we're going to start to work towards that concept of, like, what can we use this for? We've got, like I said, we've got options for Conjuration later on, but we're not going Conjuration anytime in the very near future. So we want to make sure that we don't want to just... I say that. We could just sit on these and try to bank them. and try to do something really big in another like 20 or 30 turns with all of them. But I don't know that that's gonna work out to be a good idea or anything like that. So we'll see though. We've got options open. Moving more crystal sorceresses upwards, and let's talk about the big thing this turn. We are moving a very large force. A very large force into Grifa. And this is for the purpose of taking Old Man. So what the plan is going to be is the idea is that we're not going to be able to, or we're going to be, hopefully, right? We will take Old Man without much issue. And then holding Old Man and Pastina, we'll be able to actually hold Pastina and then have Old Man be a forward post, right? So what are we doing? We're sending in a whole lot of our forces, but we're not sending in everything because, again, if this right there, you know, it's that concept of, oh, well, maybe you should send everything. Yeah, there is that in the idea. Let me phrase it like this. What I'm sending should be able to deal with, should be able to kill whatever we run across. If it can't, then sending more of the same isn't going to fix that, basically, right? So what we're sending is all of our Katsina warriors, a very good amount of our archers, most of our other cavalry, basically, a fair amount of our elite warriors, and all of our ants. We're sending a very large communion contingent. We're sending several Wuyas. And we're sending several Hmong Katsinas as well. Some of those Wuyas are set up to do big battlefield buffs, right? Wuya 1 is just our blessing individual. Some of the others are set up to do... Here, let's actually just select. We'll do this scenario. We'll have to wait for like 5 seconds. Okay. Go look at who else. So we have I think we have a communion of about 16 or so. We have a bunch of base masters just set up to do things like soul slays. We have power of the spheres going up, light of the northern stars going up. Power of the spheres. We need some gems for. I still have to finish. Sorry. We've got a fair amount of summon air elementals happening from some of our crystal sorceresses. We have things like Arrowfin going up. We have things like Wind Guide going up. We've got a bunch of Thunderstrike spam coming out of our communion. More air elementals. We've got things like anti-magic going up. All of the different buffs that we're putting on our communion, Iron Skin, Summon Earth Power. We've got a mixture of different spells between Soul Slay, Thunderstrike, Flaming Meteors, etc. We've got Howl going up. We are going to have access to some Foul Vapors individuals, but again, we don't want to mix Foul Vapors into our current setup. We don't want to use Foul Vapors until we have Serpent's Blessing active on our own stuff. So yeah. Bunch of different things. Not that much, truth be told. But from what I have seen, it should be okay. And then the other thing that we're gonna do is we're not just gonna like march over to Old Man and just be like, okay, well, we're sieging Old Man, Kangobia, just let us do this. We're gonna march over to Old Man, and as we are marching to Old Man, we are going to attack Kangobia with a bunch of different thugs, right? A bunch of Wuyas, a bunch of Hmong Katsinas. And we're going to basically be like, okay, well, here, deal with these things while we deal with Old Man. And some of them are going to be sacrifices, right? A lot of them are going to die, depending on the situation. But we're also going to mix in some other situations, right? Like, we're not going to send anyone in solo, as far as I'm aware. We're going to send in, you know, like a Wuya, backed up by another Wuya, and one Wuya might do Foul Vapors, right? Have a foul vapor strap, and the other one might have winged boots on, right? So we're gonna try to mix and match some of the options that we've come up with here lately to make it to where whatever he sends at us is gonna have a little bit of a pain in the ass time to try to deal with everything, you know? So that's the plan. We are, however, there's the chance that we run, like, he moves into Grifa this turn. So we've got our group relatively worked up. I need to, like I said, I need to put a relief in there. Like this or this, like it. Would you like to also select this one? Thank you. The lag is fierce. Fucking fierce. So we got Fanaticism coming out here. Okay, so that's good. And then we've got Howl coming out from this one. So probably do relief on this guy. It takes 5. He's got it. Yeah, he should be fine. And then I would say... No, we do not want him to attack with spells. He can be on attack. Alright. So, very, very simple stuff, right? But the movement is in an attempt to establish forward base, threaten Blue Moss and Faldenberg. He's got a lot of chaff, but he has been losing a lot of chaff down in his heartland. He's defending well, don't get me wrong. And again, I still think at the end of the day, he probably is going to beat us. But I don't want to sit around and wait for the beating to happen. We're going to go start taking stuff and seeing how it goes. So that's what we're doing movement-wise. What are we doing forging-wise and ritual-wise? Most of the same stuff is happening, right? We are continuing to forge copper plates. We're continuing to forge well, actually, I guess we got a lot of new stuff. Boots of the Messenger, etc. But we're also adding in, now that we have Construction 6, we're adding in a lot of different extra stuff. We're adding in firebrands, right? We're adding in a Scutata Volturnus instead of our little Earth Shield. We're adding in things like Demon Banes, right? By the way, random fucking information. Apparently in this, I don't know if this is DE or if this is the Bozmod stuff, but Demon Banes cost 3 gems. With a fucking hammer, they cost 1 gem. We're probably just gonna have Sork 9 make Demon Banes for the rest of eternity. Right? Like, why not? It's really good. Very, very cheap power, honestly. So that's happening. And then, as you can see, right, like, we've got a lot of lightless lanterns being made. So we're gonna try to balance what we're making versus what we have, etc. Because we still want to keep our people equipped, but right now we're trying to get every spare hammer is basically trying to go into fire gems or into lightless lanterns to try to boost that research economy, right? Boosting research, if we can survive for the next 15 turns and we can actually boost into some of the more defensive buff magic, etc., then I'm going to feel more secure in taking chances and taking risks and seeing where we go into the late game. If we're unsuccessful in doing that, or if we get hit before we can accomplish that, then we're probably just gonna die pretty rapidly, would be my assumption. But we'll see. I think that's mostly it, by the way. I think we've pretty much solidified ourselves as going to go into the late game even if, well, I say that. If we were attacked by, like, Mid-Atlantis and Ermor, or Spacia and Mid-Atlantis, or something like that, in the next couple turns, we probably wouldn't make it very far, because most of our military power is in Pastena, and moving away. That's going to be another big focus, by the way, is trying to make sure that we have power elsewhere. But if we get hit in the near future, we're just gonna get destroyed. But if we can survive for a while, I think we might be solidly into the late game. I don't think we're gonna be a major player, but I think we'll solidly be into the late game. So, all right, that's gonna be it for now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.